Hello, this reading is for my friend Zola. And I apologize, you've been waiting for this reading for a little while, but life happens. And it has not left my mind since I promised to do this for you. So I hope you'll forgive me for taking so long. And I hope this really resonates with you. Because I've not done a reading for you before. I just like to, at the beginning, I've drawn 4 cards for you, actually. And I didn't actually draw them. They popped out of the decks as I was shuffling. And I went from 3 different decks this time, just because I felt like it. So what I'll do is I'm going to tell you each card and a little bit about what that deck focuses on, because I have lots of decks and they all have focus that they have, that they move around. And then I'll kind of give you an overall picture. Now, since this is only a 4 card uh, draw, it's a general reading, but it will give you an idea. And the first card typically is the dominant energy. Some people will read like past, present, and future. And past is kind of the dominant energy card, but it's recent past. However, it could be something that happened a long time ago that's still very much in the forefront of your mind. And the reason that that is important is because those things that shape us and help us become who we are also affect the choices that we make and our outlook on life and that sort of thing. And so I think of it more as dominant energy than past, because I feel like the past is almost, you know, it's kind of general. Things tend to go around and keep coming back until we learn those lessons, so the past can become the future. So I just think dominant energy is a more uh, reasonable description of what this card is. The second card is what you need to focus on, and being cognizant of that in order to help you move toward whatever it is you're moving toward, whether you're working towards a goal or just working towards becoming your higher self. We're all on some sort of a spiritual path, even if we're not really cognizant of it. But anytime we're working on self-improvement, or moving towards goals, it's still all about that physical, emotional, and spiritual balance that's going to create that joy and that edifying experience, so where we're actually living our lives rather than just surviving them. So with that being said, let's start with your first card. And I took this card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. And this deck is it uses a lot of symbols. Most of them do, but this one specifically ancient symbols. And there's a little oracle in the cards somewhere in all of these, kind of in the image, camera superimposed. And it's this in this one. It's right in here. I don't know if you can see it on the computer, but um, this one, the oracle. Uh, there's a mosquito. Um, alludes to the fact that we are not alone, that we are in co-creation in this existence with spirit, and oracle is that divine guidance that we all have. So intuition and that sort of thing. And the first card that you got, the dominant energy, which is kind of focusing on what's happening in your life right now and what's influencing the things going on in your life right now, is truth be told. And this card is it pops up um, when there's a call for authenticity. It's all about being honest, seeing things and taking them at face value, and not really needing to read between the lines necessarily, and just really be very, very honest in your communication and how you look at things, looking at things from all sides, and being very authentic, honest to a fault with yourself about what you love, what you want, what's important to you, um, the things that you want. And As a life coach, we talk a lot about goals, and we talk about how um, the problem, which is where goals come from, we're not doing enough of this, or we have too much of that, or we want to lose weight, or we want to make more money, or we want to move to the beach, whatever it is. The problem is never the motivation. It does not motivate us. It does sometimes spur us into action and put the thinking into motion, but it's not what motivates us to continue to move forward. And the reason that's relevant here is because what really moves us towards a goal is not the problem, but the reward. And that's important with this card, because the encouragement in this card is for you to be very authentic and very open and honest. And by the way, forgiving of yourself and of other people. And to keep in mind that the things that you want, you certainly deserve, and you can certainly have them. You can live the life you choose. But there's a big call for very honest communication. If you were asking a question about relationships, you would be being asked to be very open in your communication, and always listening and watching body language and really paying attention, because people reveal themselves very quickly. And if this was about prosperity, it's about, are you willing to go the extra mile? An artist must be an artist. A writer has to write. A singer has to sing. Um, it doesn't really matter what it is, but the the thing is you will not only miss the magic of the journey if you're focused on is the end goal, but you also will never reach that goal if you're only focused on what caused you to create that goal in the first place, if you're focused on the lack. So you want to be focused on what it is that you have. And you need to know that you already have all the tools. You have everything you need to be living the life that you choose. And if you're really happy with where you are right now, first of all, congratulations. Um, that means in order for you to maintain that, you need to maintain or improve your communication and your authenticity with yourself and your honesty with yourself. It's okay to want something, and it's okay to disagree, and it's okay if other people don't necessarily want the same things that you want. This card is asking you to remember that your wishes, your desires, and your aspirations and the things that you're passionate about are just as important as other people's aspirations and other people's wishes and desires and the things that they're passionate about. So it's really asking you to be so honest that you don't set yourself aside for other people. Um, Equal time. Self-care is never selfish. And that's one of the things that I preach all the time, is that be sure that you are as kind, as generous, and as gentle with yourself as you are with other people. And that's the crux of being authentic and being very, very honest about what it is. Don't be afraid to go after what you want. Now, the second card is what you should be focusing on, because it's going to help you manifest those things that you want, the goals that you've set, your desires, those little deep darks that you hold on to and you think, oh, I'm not going to wish for that because it's not, it's not my turn yet, or whatever, for whatever reason. But the card you got is you're being helped. And this one is every word, every thought goes out into the universe as a prayer. And Spirit wants nothing more than to answer your prayers in a way that's going to fulfill you and edify you and make you joyous, because that's really very important. And this card is telling you that the things that you've been hoping for, working toward, praying for, uh, those prayers have been answered. And your spirits, your guides, your angels, however you understand your world, are on the other side of the veil, and they're in constant motion, working on helping you and guiding you in the direction you need to go in order to attain those things, the situations, the people, the goals that you've been working toward, those, and especially those little things that you don't dare utter. Spirit knows your heart. So, as relates to your being helped with the truth be told card, just don't be afraid to dream big. In fact, I tell people all the time, dream big. And they go, I am dreaming big. I say, dream bigger. They go, well, I am dreaming bigger. And I said, then dream bigly, because it's really important that you um, ask ask for what you genuinely want. And recognize that when you take care of yourself and when you have you're able to live the life you choose, and you're being blessed with wonderful people and wonderful situations, and you're in your tribe, the people that, I say your vibe is your tribe. It's kind of a Redkin thing, and that when you're surrounded by that and you're at your best, not only does your life feel blessed, but you are such a blessing to other people. And that's an amazing place to be. And that's a very good encouragement as well. When you're working on things that you're trying to manifest and trying to things that you're trying to bring into your life in order to be living that life you choose, one of the best ways to do that is to also recognize how that is going to benefit other people. How are you going to bless those around you when you've attained that? It's a very grateful way to live, but it's a beautiful card to get because it means that you've been heard, and so that's exciting. Now the next card, there's actually two here for you. These come from a deck from Kuan Yin, and Kuan Yin is from Eastern spiritual teachings, and she's kind of the equivalent of Gaia, or the equivalent of the Mother Mary in Judeo-Christian, and she is the compassionate, unconditionally loving mother, and she wants nothing but the best for you, and everything she does is to help you along, to help you become your best self. And the first card is Nectar of the Lotus, and the second card is 10 Sisters of Light. And these cards are a little bit different in that they actually have a message that is for you, um, in Mother Kuan Yin speak. So I'm just going to read these to you, and then we'll talk a little bit about what they mean. So, Nectar of the Lotus. Your devotion to helping others has the effect of squeezing the heart chakra of the Divine Mother. From her heart drips nectar, sweet, sustaining, life affirming energy that feeds you and allows you to nourish many souls. When you are full, well, and vital, you are able to nourish others. You are guided to receive your fill now for your own benefit and the benefit of all. And what an interesting card to get, because we were just talking about how um, uh, we bless others when you are living the life that you choose, and because you get to share those gifts. And this also talks about, it talks about squeezing from the heart chakra of Mother Kuan Yin. The message there is very special, because what that means is that your intentions are pure and very altruistic. And as when we are striving to not only live a life of value, but we are trying to bless others as well through service, then we get all kinds of divine intervention. And that's really kind of what that's about. And that divine intervention also goes with the other card, that you're being helped. So that's a very beautiful card to get. Now, the other one is 10 Sisters of Light. You have been here before, lived many lifetimes. Your soul has learned skills in past lives and developed abilities and talents. It is time to reawaken and reclaim those past gifts. Kuan Yin's grace, protection, and assistance help you now to release past life wounds so that you may bring past life powers to aid your present life purpose. So essentially, that means that everything that you have learned up until now has prepared you for what you're about to face, whether it's new and exciting experiences or lessons or whatever. It doesn't matter. It means that you're not doing it alone, and that you have gifts and talents that are yet either untapped, or you've tapped them a little bit, but it's time to really move forward and really magnify those, because that's really your calling. It's all about really about your purpose in life and the service you are to others. And sometimes we're in service to other people through our jobs, and sometimes we're in service to others just by being good friends, good siblings, good family members, whatever. So whatever that is for you, it's just an affirmation that what it is you're working toward is not only going to be a blessing for yourself, but it's going to be a blessing for those around you as well. So don't be stingy on the self-care. Take time out for yourself, meditate, exercise, work towards that physical, emotional, and spiritual balance, because that growth is going to bless you and bless everyone else. And when I look at these cards all together and I look for an overall message, the overall message really is about, don't be afraid to be who you are, because who you are is um, going to be such a gift, is a gift. You are such a gift to those around you, and especially those that are coming into your path, because you have what they need, whether that be compassion or empathy or tough love or whatever. It doesn't really matter. What it is it's what they need at that moment, and you're the only person that can give that to them, and that's quite a blessing. So live authentically. Know that your prayers have been heard, and you've been smiled on, and that spirit is working very hard to nudge you in the direction you need to go. And the one thing I would tell you is especially when we're working towards goals, um, whether we're just trying to do something very human, like get a new job or learn to roller skate or whatever it is, or something even bigger, or some big spiritual thing, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter whether it's a big thing or a small thing. You need to know that you are worthy of the things that you want, and you need to know that it's okay to want things. And things, when I talk about things, I don't necessarily mean material things, although it could be. Maybe you want a new home, or or you want an exercise gym in your basement. I don't know. It's but know that don't, sometimes we have a tendency to feel a little selfish and to feel like we don't have the right to ask for that because it's not our turn, but it is your turn, and you not only deserve it, but you're worthy of it, and you are going to continue to grow and be a blessing to those around you as you do that. So don't be afraid to ask for what you really want. And that's where that authenticity and that cry to be very honest and to be very open with your communication with those around you. The other thing too is, don't be too afraid to accept help, because sometimes that's the way spirit blesses us, and it sends people into our path that will create opportunities or teach us something that we need in order to continue to move forward. And the last thing that I feel compelled to tell you is when you're working towards a goal, any goal, and I don't care what it is, whether it's a big one or a tiny one, remember that the magic happens on the journey. The end goal is maybe the reward as we see it, but the real magic happens on the person we become on our way. So don't forget to be looking around and watching and paying attention and experiencing what's going on around you on the path, on the way to the goal. Because once you reach that goal, it's just time to create another one, and you're going to take that, and that's going to help you along the way as well. So don't miss the magic. Don't be so focused on the destiny that you miss all the wonderful things that are happening on the way. You want to experience the growth as it happens, rather than be looking back and saying, oh yeah, I've changed a lot, or I've grown a lot, or you don't want to miss it. That's the best part. That's where all the magic is. So, Zola, I hope this resonated with you. And if you have any questions, you're certainly welcome to contact me and ask me further. And I'm very grateful that you let me do this for you. I love reading for people, and the messages are always very enlightening for me as well. I learn something with every reading. So I hope you enjoyed that. And again, thank you so much. And I will see you soon.